Hello children, I hope you are all good and fine children. Okay, today we are going to see a new chapter, that is organism and population. Organism and population. This is a lesson of biozoology. Lesson of biozoology. So let's learn the topic in overall view of this lesson. So which is very interesting and very easy chapter. It is easy for you to score marks. So what is we have to concentrate? You have to concentrate certain temperatures and the level of precipitation and type of the forest or type of the area, type of the things. Some hints, it is very important for you to answer these questions. Okay. See, we will start the ecology. Already we learnt we know about the ecology. What is ecology? Study the relationship between the living organisms with the environment. Living organisms with environment is called as what? Is called as ecology. Understood children? So what is meant by ecology? We know now. So already we know what the ecology and what is habitat and niche. So habitat is a place or dwelling place of animal is called as habitat, and that habitat may not change for particular species. Okay, but niche is differ from the that habitat. So the niche can be only we can see the species in that area alone. Habitat can be occupied by or shared by many species, or different species can be occupied in that area. Okay, so these are all we learned detailedly in botany itself. So no need to give explain again. So next is we know the factors of the ecology. What are the factors? It may be biotic and non-biotic factors. What is biotic factors? So which is dealing with the living organisms. And what is mean by abiotic factors? Abiotic factors includes temperature, light, water, soil, wind, humidity, latitude, altitude. All those things comes under what it is abiotic factor. So we already know what is abiotic factors and how all these are all general. Maximum the botany and zoology have given a chapter. So maximum combined whatever point they have given in the botany, the same topic and same points we have given. Give few examples they have changed. So while you learning, concentrate, combine, and that examples alone you have to separate it. For zoology you have to write that focus, and for botany you have to write for these botany related examples. That's how. So among the temperature we learn different things. That is what thermal, that is thermal and stereothermal. Every this along that some additional points they have given in this book. So that is called as 3 rules they have given. One is Allen's rule, Bergman's rule, and Van Hoff's rule. So in that Allen's rule, what is mean by Allen's rule? So in Allen's rule, the warmer animals tend to live in the colder climate, while the warmer animals, the animals which live in the warm area, it will start to adapt themselves in the colder region by changing certain their body structure. What they change? They have changed that the limbs and ears turned into shorter one. Limbs and ear and some other organ size is reduced. So if the size is reduced and they adapting themselves to live in that survival, so they are called as Allen's rules. Allen's rules. And some animals or birds and mammals, they will be having a greater body size when they live in the temperate area. So for example, if a frog of same species, understand, frog of same species, if they live in the temperated area, they will be having a long, for example, the tail of the mouse or earlobes, all those things. Okay, so the animals which live in the temperate area, warmer area, will be having a long growth of hair, tail, like those things. Then those same species, if they live in the colder region, they will be having a short size. So that is the rule of Bergman's rule. Birds and mammals attain the greatest size while they are in the warmer region. And next one, Van Hoff. So what does Van Hoff says? That is, if the 10 degrees Celsius is increased, if 10 degrees Celsius is increased, the metabolic rate gets doubled. Metabolic rate gets doubled. You know what is metabolic rate? Metabolic rate is nothing but that after the food consumption, the food is going on the chemical changes. that chemical changes or chemical process is called as metabolism. It is followed by anabolism and catabolism. So for that process will be doubled up if 10 degrees Celsius is increased. Similarly, if you reduce the 10 degrees Celsius, then this activity will be offs. It get offs. Okay. So it while it doubles in the increasing, and if it is halves, reduced it if you reducing 10 degrees Celsius. Okay. So that is called as Van Hoff rule. That is called as Van Hoff rule. You have to keep this in mind, and they will be asking in 2 marks. You have to write to answer it. Okay. And you know what is Chino and eurythermal. What is eurythermal? The animals which can survive in the wide temperature range. So they can live in extreme temperature, or they can whatever temperature they will tolerate and they can survive. But some species can't live in that what it is in the extreme temperature. They comes under the stenothermal. Stenothermal only slight changes. Only it can survive. If you change the temperature, they won't survive. So that is called as stenothermic and eurythermic. And light is, when we talk about plants, light is important for the growth, photosynthesis, all those things. Even for animals also, without light we can't survive, or the light will be affected. We won't get the food from the plants. So imagine if no light, if no plants, how we will survive? So not possible. See, if we are okay, you can imagine we will take the we will take the animal for eat. How the animals survive? They need some food, no? So they need herbivores. Herbivores need carnivores. The food chain will be affected. So light is very important. It is ultimate for all the sources, as well as plants and as well as animals. Okay. So while under the light, we can see some of the special activities of the animals. So if the species of animals moving in the case of light toward the light, then that is said to be phototaxic. So animals which move toward the light, they are called as phototaxic. Example, amoeba. So these microorganisms will move toward the light. Okay, so that light will be stimulating them to move toward. Then if they move, the plant, if they move towards the light, phototrophism. What it is said to be? If they grow toward the soil, it is called as geotrophism. If plants are maximum, if you are keeping a plant in your window, you can see you can see that some part of the tip of the plant will move toward the sunlight out of the window. It will go out of the window. So it proves that phototrophism takes place. And next is photokinesis. What is meant by photokinesis? So indirectly there is some changes in the speed so they will change in the speed of changing in the under the light. So that speed, movement can be the speed can be changed. The change in the speed under the light is called as water. Changing speed is called as photokinesis. And other things, what are the other abiotic factors? Water is an abiotic factor. Water is very important for even plant and animals. Then soil is important. Soil is having lot of soil organic matter, soil nutrients, soil aeration, soil pH, all those things are there. And wind also, the different types of wind is having lot of oxygen gas consumptions, and it is very important. The wind allow the plant to do transpiration, and wind doing the pollination, and wind dispersal, it is useful. So all those things we learned in the botany itself. And humidity is very important. If humidity is less, that it also affect the life of the species. Okay, so humidity and the moisturizing condition of atmosphere is called as humidity. Altitude and latitude. What is altitude? The widespread area is called as altitude. So latitude, and the peak area. So from sea level up to top is said to be altitude. That also decides the different species vegetation growth. So altitude is less, that is the altitude is less, low height, that it leads to some of the change in the vegetation. If it is too high, that also leads to, so already we know tropical, that if it is in the sea level, it may be a tropical rainforest, or in the peak of the altitude, it may be snow Arctic regions like that. Okay, so that is the so these are some of the factors what we learned in the botany. The same thing is given here with some examples to refer it. And next one, biomes. Now what we are going to learn today, we are going to learn about biomes. What is biomes? It's a large region of earth, which is said to be a larger region of earth which is having a common vegetation or some special vegetations, similar vegetations, and with a similar climates. Okay, large area, maximum the entire area will be having a common vegetation and common climate. So that is called as biomes. So one two mark question, what is what is called defined biomes? If they ask, you have to write this. So if it is a large geographical area with a common vegetation or similar vegetations and with common climate is called as what? The biomes. So here biomes can be divided into two, terrestrial terrestrial habitat we are dividing now. Like that the biomes also divided into terrestrial biome and aquatic biomes. Biomes means already we know vegetations or animal species. So species which live on the land, they are called as terrestrial biomes, or if they live in the water, they are called as aquatic biomes. Now we are going to learn about the terrestrial biomes. So first one is tundra biome. So what we are going to learn now, tundra biome, taiga biome, grassland biome, alpine biome, forest biome and desert biomes. Okay, so first one tundra. So this tundra biome maximum occupying Asia, Europe and North America. Asia, Europe and North America. And so you can find the treeless plains maximum, not tall trees you can see in this area. So I have noted here some very important concepts, and you can find the specific species of plants and animals, then go through, underline and by heart it. Okay, so for there will be given more examples for each plants and animals. You at least few examples you quoted which species coming commonly for all the biomes. You can underline and take for the examples. Okay, so tundras, it occurs in the Asia, Europe and North America. We can find those treeless plains maximum. No, you cannot find the tall trees in this area, tundra region. And the winter is winter and little daylight. So winter season, during the winter season, the sun will be very less duration. Daytime is very less. During the winter season, the daytime is very less. As well as during the summer season, you can find the long daytime. So summer season will be long daytime, and winter season the long, so what it is, very short daytime. And you can get the precipitation, that is water here, that is less than 250 mm per year. So only less than 250 mm per year in this tundra region. And because during the winter season, because of this weather condition, maximum of the species will start to migrate from this area toward the other region. So you can see the migration during the severe winter season. So they can't be survive and they can't breed in the tundra region. So they try to move toward other countries for the breeding process. What is breeding process? They go and they reproduce and they lay the eggs and they hatching out. Every process will take place in other area and then they come back again. So these are all migration is a special activity or special characteristic feature is shown by certain, especially birds. So birds, have you seen some of the during the winter season, you can see some of the birds, group of birds flying from different miles. They will travel different miles, even from North America, South America, in different countries they are coming India. For what reason? For the water, for the requirement of water, to avoid such a bad environment condition in that their country. So for that they are escaping from that country and reaching the suitable area. So this is one thing you have to know. So this changed into co-evolution. What is co-evolution? This activity is not teaching. They are not teaching. They are not taking lesson. You have to go during this season for their young ones. For the birds young ones, they are not teaching. If this season comes, you have to go some other countries. So it is registered in their gene itself. Okay, that is called as co-evolution. If anything change or anything, the habit of the species will be transferred for long generation. That is called as co-evolution. Okay, so here you can see the special character of migration from that area to when it takes place during the severe winter season. Next one is taiga. Next is taiga biomes. So this taiga biomes, so it is the wide area, wide zone area. It occupies wide zone area, that is 1300 to 1450 kilometer area will be covered by this taiga biome. So where you found in the south of tundra region, And here the long cold and winter. So this area, the cold also will be takes place long duration, and winter season also takes place longer durations. So that summer, the temperature during the summer season would be 10 degrees Celsius to 21 degrees Celsius. Only 10 degrees Celsius to 21 degrees Celsius. And the rain precipitation may be 380 to 1000 mm per year. So it getting maximum of rain 380 mm to 1000 mm per year. So this is about the taiga biomes. And next one is grassland biome. Next one is called as grassland biome. So this grassland biome maximum occur in the tropical region. Maximum occur in the tropical region. So here we can find the summer season is very hot and winter season is too cold. Summer season is hot and winter season is cold. And here you can find the irregular rain, that is irregular precipitation. The rain is not uniformly the precipitating there. So irregular rain occurrence. And you can find the high wind, heavy wind can be experienced in this grassland. Okay. And next one is alpine. Alpine is a biome. So it is a descending area. What is descending? So this is a mountain that while it comes down from the peak, while it getting down. So this area is called as descending. So this area is called as descending. For example, Himalaya mountain, the height of the Himalayan mountain is Everest or Himalayan mountain is 5100 meter. So out of 5100 meter from the sea level 3600 meter. So this area is otherwise called as alpine region. This is to be alpine region, and the species which live in that area is called as alpine biomes. Alpine biomes. That's why it is said to be descending order. Descending order. So the it having the three zone. It having the three zone. The upper zone, middle zone, and lower zone. Upper zone, middle zone, and lower zone. So it has three zone. The upper zone is the continuation of sub-snow zone. So maximum the tip is snow zone. Below the snow zone is called a sub-snow zone. So the upper region of the alpine is said to be sub-snow zone. Then the middle one is said to be meadow zone, and the bottom is a shrub zone. Okay. So in the alpine biome, the upper zone is said to be it is occupied by sub-snow zone, and middle is followed by meadow zone, and the bottom is occupied by shrub zone. Okay. So this is about the alpine. So it will be having a special type of vegetations and special type of species, that is deer, masked deer. There is lot of squirrels. All those things are there in all these things. Some specific types also available in the areas. Okay. And next one is forest biome. Next one is forest biome. Forest we can divide into these things. So trophy based on the based on the altitude we can divide it: tropical, temperate, subarctic, and arctic. Okay. So first, if you take a tropical region, this tropical forest, temperate forest, subarctic forest, and arctic. So tropic forest, it is nearly equator. So where it is located? Nearly equator region. So middle of the earth. So near equator you can find the zone is called as equator tropical zone. Here maximum you can find only two seasons. One is rainy season and dry season. So winter season is completely absent in this area. So it may be a rainy season or it may be a dry season. So you can find the temperature as 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. So temperature would be 20 to 25 degrees Celsius. Here the soil is very less nutrient in condition. So soil is not rich with nutrient content. So very poor nutrient. And it is maximum acidic in nature. Maximum it is acidic in nature. And here it will be having a multi-layered canopy. What is multi-layered canopy? So it will be having a long trees. The long tree, the topmost area, so which is act as a crowd area. Already we learned what is canopy is always called as, while we learn fire. So fire, if the fire takes place in the canopy part, then it is called as what? Crown fire. So like that, it will be having a multi-layered canopy. That is long, tall trees you can found in this area. And here different types of forests is there in the tropical region. So maybe evergreen forest, season rain forest, semi-evergreen forest, moisture or dry deciduous forest. So these are the some of the forest varieties in the what it is, tropical forest. Understood, children? So tropical forest is located near the equator and it has two seasons only available, rainy season or dry season. The temperature would be 20 to 25 degrees Celsius and soil nutrition is very poor and maximum acidic, and you can find the multi-layered canopy, and the forest will be divided into evergreen forest, seasonal rain forest or semi-evergreen forest or moist or dry deciduous forest. So this is about the tropical region of the biome, forest biome. And next one, temperate zone. While we take the temperate zone, first see the area where you can find this temperate zone. So it is Eastern and North America, Eastern North America, Northeastern Asia, Western and Central Europe. So these are the place of the temperate zone. This is the area of temperate zone. So Eastern North America, then Northeastern Asia, Western Central Europe. So this is the place occupied by the temperate zone. This temperate zone you can find the moderate and growing season. So the plant will not grow in all the seasons. So maximum the growth can be obtained which season? Maximum you can find your hair will grow, your nail growth. So all these things grow during the summer season very fast. The growth may occur. So if you want to do any treatment, so this is a clue I'm giving. If you want to grow your hair, you can take the treatment, or if you want to reach your height during the summer season, if you take effort, definitely it will give good result. Okay. So the growth, so during only 4 to 6 months only it takes place. So and here you can find the temperature. Very less temperature is minus 30 degrees Celsius and maximum is 30 degrees Celsius. So this is about the at annual, okay, annual temperature. So this is annual temperature minus 30 degrees Celsius to 30 degrees Celsius, and the rain will be 750 ml to 1500 mm per annually. Okay, so this is a, so you must underline the you must take notes that underline while you learning, while reading the, while watching the book. Underline the rain, amount of rain precipitation takes place in these countries. So definitely based on the rain precipitation or based on certain characteristic feature, 1 marks will be asking from this question. Okay. So this and then you can find the moderate canopy. So here not too crowdy tall trees can found in this area. So little bit less when compared with the tropical rainforest. And here you can find a moderate canopy. And so in the first case, multi-layered canopy. What is multi-layered canopy? If you entered inside the forest, you can't see the light, you can't see the sunlight. So it is what fully the topper area is covered by the canopy. So it will not allow a single what it is light to enter into the forest. So it will, the forest will be always dark because of multi-layered canopy. So if you went inside, if you go inside, it's very difficult to find out the sunlight, and because of that it will compete for the species for getting the sunlight. Okay, and maximum the the species which loves the shade area can grow in the area. And so this one, the forest of the temperate zone may be different. So maybe moist conifer forest. Conifer, what is coniferous? So it will be having cones producing plants, and which is like a gymnosperms, comes under gymnosperm varieties. So moist coniferous forest, dry conifer forest, and Mediterranean forest, temperate coniferous forest, temperate broad-leaved rain forest. So these are the some of the there is forest types based on the amount of or based on the vegetation, based on the rain precipitation, all those things. Okay. So once again, the temperate zone is occupied in Eastern North America, Northeastern Asia, then Western Central Europe, and you can find the moderate and growing season only 4 to 6 months. Temperature would be minus 30 to 30 degrees Celsius, and rain would be the 750 to 1500 mm per annually. Then you can find the moderate canopy over here, and mostly conifer forest, dry conifer forest, Mediterranean forest, temperate zone forest, temperate coniferous forest, temperate and broad leaved rain forest is available in this area. Up to this clear? Okay. So next we are going to learn about the desert biome. Next we are going to learn about desert biome. So what is desert biome? Desert means, so maximum the earth, out of earth 1/5, out of 5 one part is completely occupied by. So if we divide the earth into 5 parts, so one complete part is occupied by desert. So why desert takes place? Because of the absence of less amount of rain and heavy sun. So this is the main reason of the desert biome formation. Here it will be getting less than 500 mm per year. The rain is very less than 500 mm per year. So here the mean of annual temperature 22 25 degrees Celsius, 22 25 degrees Celsius, and maximum would be 43.5 to 49 degrees Celsius. Imagine it's very difficult, no? Yes. So even the 40 is also very hard. Here it starts from, the maximum temperature starts from 43.5 to 49 degrees Celsius. It's very hard to survive. So very difficult to survive. It's very, so maximum they won't survive in that area. Okay. And minimum temperature would be minus 18 degrees Celsius. That also too less. So, and living in that area should have a special adaptation. Then only it can survive. So they will be having slit soil. So that soil, muddy soil, so due to heavy wind, that what it will fly along with the wind, the soil. So all the problems will be there. So maximum what areas? Sahara of North Africa, Southwest, and then the deserts of Southwest US, Mexico, Australia and India, especially Thar Desert, are at lowest latitude. So lowest latitude means, from the 0 degree Celsius, you can, it's not 0, from the angle, 0 degree angle, it nearly 0 degree angle, okay. And you can find the special type of plant is called as xerophytic plant. Yesterday itself we learned, or in the last class we learned, that is in the ecology botany you learned that what is xerophytic plants, 3 types of plant. What is succulent, first is what it is, that the plant which will be escapers, and second is called as what? One is plant escapers, and second one is succulent plant, and third one is non-succulent plant. So first one which is escapers, they will live their topper area during that heavy sunny season and during the heavy hot season, and they will survive and the next suitable temperatures. And so a succulent will be having certain adaptation. They will store the water in their body. Then that water will make them to store and survive in that area. And non-succulent, their body changed into slender, and which will giving the resistant toward the heavy temperature. That is actually, non-succulent plant is actually said to be true xerophytic plants. Okay. Then, so this will be having xerophytic plants, adaptations should be there. And here soil will be having full nutrition, but organic matter is very less. Soil have full nutrition, but if it had water, if it has the chance of getting water, it can give a fertile land. Okay. And so animals can store water, especially camel. Have you seen? You will learn from the 6th standard onwards. So what is the adaptations of camel? The camels, if you take the camels from the top to bottom, you can see certain characteristic feature. So it will be having the flippers on their nose. What is the flippers? So the nose will be closed when heavy wind blows. Okay. So maximum it's partially covered to avoid the entry of the sand. And then you can find the thick eyebrow for the camels. That also prevent the camel to direct fall of sunlight and to avoid the falls of sand to the eyes. And their body, stomach having that is osmotic cells. So that osmotic cells will be storing the water. So it can drink a full amount of water, and they can survive even for a month without drinking water. So that special osmotic cell is there for storing water. And then have you seen the hump on the camel? What is hump? Have you seen hump on the camel? Near the neck region you can find the hump. Okay. So this hump region is nothing but, so it is the fat storing. So that area will be storing the fat. So that is providing energy. Okay. So these are certain adaptations of, and then it's leg also that is the length too long to avoid the to keep the body from the soil. So it will keep the distance their body from the sand, hard sand. So these are some of the adaptation of the camels. Not only camels, all other species in that area having certain adaptations. So some of the species will be burrowers. So they won't come out during the daytimes. During the heavy hot daytime, they all hide and they will all burrower and they won't come out of the sun, outer space. So such adaptation can be done by the species, and maximum of the species are nocturnal. They will come out during the night time while the temperature is reduced. They come out and seeks for food. And maximum burrower and what is fusorial, lot of habitats are there for them. Okay, and next one, and in the desert, deserts is divided into hot desert and even cold desert. If you take cold desert, it will be minus degrees 22 degrees Celsius, minus 2 degrees Celsius to 4 degrees Celsius. This is the temperature of cold desert. And you can, in the cold desert, that during the summer season, the temperature would be 21 degrees Celsius to 26 degrees Celsius. Okay, and then the rain precipitation will be getting 150 to 250 mm per year. Soil is heavy, slitty and salty soil, and you can, especially example is Antarctic region and Greenland and Nearctic Relief and West Asia and Ladakh. So these are some of the examples of what cold deserts area. So we'll see the next one.